Hola, me llamo Warren. Es gusto de verles. It's good to see you guys. Right now, on this video, I'm going to teach you about how to talk in the past tense. There are many past tenses in Spanish, as there are in English, but when you're born listening to English and speaking English, nobody ever teaches you about that part of it. But so if we look at a timeline, you have past, pasado, present, presente, and the future, futuro, futuro. Now, I don't know about you all, but in my mind, I live a lot of my life in the past and in the future. And oftentimes, when I'm doing things, I'm not living in the present. So, if you can learn this one more tense, because I've already taught you how to go into the future for what your plans are and things like that, you will have a big step up in being able to express yourself. So remember that the present for AR verbs and IR-ER verbs is o, as, a, amos, and on. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, ellos, ellas, ustedes, y'all, right? But that's the present. And then I taught you to talk in the future with verbs like voy a, tengo que, puedo, etc. That puts you in the future. But today I'm going to talk to you about how to say what you did yesterday or last week. So, first of all, we want to learn the vocabulary for the past and marking it. So, ayer, yesterday, anoche, last night, and then you've already learned the days of the week, right? And so all you have to do is put pasado like this right here, and I'm not flipping you off, all right? Pasado after a day to say last Thursday or last Tuesday or last Monday. So you could say something like el martes pasado. And all you have to do is put pasado after it, and that means the last Tuesday. El martes is Tuesday, el martes pasado. I see there's kind of a glare down there, so I'm going to be erasing here shortly so that I don't write into the glare. It's hard to get the lighting right when you're outside. You know what I mean? Anyway, so make sure you memorize ayer as yesterday, anoche, 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 and el martes pasado, and all the days of the week. I'll write them up. El lunes, el martes, el miércoles, el jueves, el viernes, el sábado, el domingo. So, and you can look in your book. I don't know what page it's on, but you can look in your book for days of the week. But then if you just add pasado after that, el lunes pasado yo fui a blah blah blah. El lunes pasado yo hablé con mi familia. So, repite conmigo. El lunes, el martes, el lunes pasado, el martes pasado, el miércoles pasado, el jueves pasado, el viernes pasado, el sábado pasado, el domingo pasado. and that will tell you what day of the week you're on. So one thing that's nice about IR and ER verbs is instead of in the present tense where you have the we form that deviates for each one of them, for example, comemos, we eat, and asistimos, we attend, you have to change those for the we form, but not for the past tense. It's all the same because the language is simplified. So it's iste, yo, imos, yeron. Repitan conmigo. Iste, yo, imos, yeron. And you can take any IR or ER verb and make it be in the past. For example, if we take comer. Comer, we want to drop off the ER and then add these for the yo form, the tu form, the él, ella, usted form, the nosotros form, the nosotras form, and the ellos, ellas, and ustedes form, the y'all form. And you should practice this, conjugating this way. Maybe while you're taking a shower, I don't know. I don't know when you have spare moments. But you can just take any verb that ends in ER or IR and make it say in the past. For example, in the present, for comer, to eat, you would say, yo como, which means I eat. But in the past, to say I ate, you would say, yo, take off that ER, add that I right there, yo comí. Yo comí. And so you would repeat this. Yo comí, tú comiste, él comió, ella comió, usted comió, nosotros comimos, nosotras comimos, ellos comieron, ellas comieron, ustedes comieron. And that will get you into the past tense for IR and ER verbs alike. So let's say the verb vivir, vivir, which means to live, a verb that you've already memorized, vivir, to live. You take off that IR. Now in the present tense, it's yo vivo, I live. So yo vivo en Bronson, yo vivo en Chiefland, yo vivo en Ocala, yo vivo. That's present. I live, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to say I lived, you would take off that IR and add these conjugations. So it'd be, instead, yo viví, I lived. So for example, I could say, por ejemplo, I could say, yo viví en Utah. I lived in Utah. Which, if you don't know where Utah is, it's in the west. It's close to California, close to Nevada, right bordering on it. And yo viví en Utah por muchos años, for many years. That's where I lived. Repite. Stop! Stop! I have to tell my puppies not to eat the chickens. You know what I mean? Because they're free-range chickens, and the chickens, somehow, they don't quite have a grip on this that a couple little puppies might harm them. Anyway, so I want you to repeat with me. Repite conmigo. Yo viví, tú viviste, él vivió, ella vivió, usted vivió, nosotros vivimos, ellos vivieron, ellos vivieron, ellas vivieron, ustedes vivieron. And that way, you can say, I lived, you lived, he lived, she lived, you lived, we lived, and we lived feminine. They lived, they all lived, and they lived, and they all lived. Oh boy. Alright, so that's how you conjugate IR and ER verbs. Stop! 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 My puppies are very happy with this lesson about past tense. I'd like to hear them bark in the past, if you know what I mean. And that would be like, oh, silence. Now for verbs that end in AR, this is how you put yourself in the past in Spanish. Repite conmigo. Haste o amos Aaron. Haste o amos Aaron. Por ejemplo, for example, if you had the verb hablar, you would take off that AR at the end, and then you would add these endings for the yo form, the to form, the él, the ella form, the usted form. They all share that. The we form, nosotros, nosotras, the they form, the ellos, the ellas, and the ustedes. So we're going to do this with hablar. Repite conmigo. Yo hablé, tú hablaste, él habló, ella habló. That means she talked, he talked. Usted habló, you talked, formal. Okay? We talked, nosotros hablamos, nosotras hablamos. Notice that this is the same as the present tense. The same in the we form. That's it, in the we form. And how you know if it's past or present in Spanish is by the context. All right, so if someone says anoche, last night, then you know it's in the past tense. Or yesterday, ayer, that's yesterday, so it must be in the past tense. All right? And then, repite conmigo, ellos hablaron, ellas hablaron, ustedes hablaron. All right, I think that might be good. Let me just quickly check out what page number this is on. I marked it in my other book because I have two, but I do believe you can look at page 152. And let me double check, just in case the table of contents is wrong. Yeah, on page 152, it gives you the same exact information I just explained to you. And so you're using the verbs that you already know from page 52 and 82 and plug them in and use them. Muchísimas gracias. Ciao. Oh, by the way, ciao comes from Italian, but ciao is used all the time in Spanish as well. So this is how we spell ciao. Your book has it wrong. Ciao. Your book says this. But when I got back from South America and I took a Spanish class and I wrote ciao that way, because people use ciao all the time down in South America, my professor told me that's how it sounds, which apparently these authors of the book didn't get the memo. But it's Italian, so keep the Italian spelling ciao. Ciao, which means goodbye. Adios. Nos vemos. Muchas gracias.